whatever you got to do today, make sure you get it done, because guess what? You can't procrastinate and say you're going to do it tomorrow. You might not be here tomorrow. For all the people wondering, no, we didn't lose them. We're still here. We didn't over leverage the whole house. I was going to originally do the call with the team this morning, but I'm going to push it to later on tonight. A price action, once you have an understanding of being able to read the charts in terms of, I know I want to enter here, I know I want to get out here, I know my stop loss is this amount, not necessarily in terms of money, but it's a 30-point stop loss, it's a 50-point stop loss. I got that first little call done, nothing crazy, just getting them started. I have a lot of students that are just getting into trading, so I have a lot of students that I'm trying to get into the funded route. It's gonna be an educational video, not as much lifestyle today, but that's what it'd be like. Let me just go hit some push-ups.
Life that you want, it's going to come with sacrifices. It's not going to be easy, but I've gone into debt. I've spent a lot of money on things I didn't need to, but everything is happening so that you can learn from it, because you don't know how to do something that you've never done before.
Everybody, good morning. Welcome back to another video. And right now it is approximately, my phone has been recording for a minute and 20 seconds apparently, but it's 10 in the morning. I'm uploading a story. And yeah, about to get my day started. I was gonna originally do the call with the team this morning, but I'm gonna push it to later on tonight. So that's the vibes. I was also watching Instagram Reels, and I see somebody hit 10,000 push-ups. That inspired me before this portion of the vlog started to hit a whole lot of push-ups. So I'm out of breath right now, but about to get my day started. Whatever you gotta do today, make sure you get it done, because guess what? You can't procrastinate and say you're gonna do it tomorrow. You might not be here tomorrow. You can't say you're gonna do it in a week, in a month, in 2026. You might not be here in a week, in a month, in 2026. Do that shit today. Whatever you gotta do it today. And it comes to everything, trading, fitness, all of the above. Get that workout today, back test today, go over your journal trades, everything. But yeah, I'm tired, I'm out of breath, but how you do one thing is how you do everything. Make sure you do something physical every day when you wake up. It's just a good way to get your blood flowing, a good way to get you pumping, and just get you ready to attack the day. If you could do anything physically, you could do anything. Because trust me, the hardest battle is always in your mind. Physically doing the push-ups isn't hard, but not giving up when you're telling yourself that you want to give up, that's the hard part. You got more reps even when you don't think you do. Just keep it going. I'm gonna go hit some more push-ups. I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm gonna try to get my days situated, structured, and I'm gonna come back and let you guys know exactly what we're gonna do. Honestly, today's been a pretty chill day. Haven't really done too much. I'm about to hop on my one-on-one calls for the day. I have a group call with the team later on. But without further ado, if you guys wanna work with me one-on-one, wanna get access to the calls, let my work day start, you can apply on the first day in the first link in the description. Let's hop on these one-on-one calls. Let's get value and help these traders get to the next level.
What's the word? You good?
Now, I'm doing good, enjoying my Sunday before another week. How about you?
Same, man. I'm just trying to lock in on this paper trading, just so I can get to the funded part.
How's the content and everything been so far?
It's been great. It's been great. I've been going over the videos again after a couple weeks of just getting the information and watching the sessions and trying to paper trade here and there. Now, I asked you about the information for the site for me to journal, so I can start keeping track of all that and go this whole month of really taking it serious. And
so the main thing when it comes to a TP or stop loss, majority of the time there's going to be a full TP and a full stop loss. Now anything in between, you can kind of have a mental TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But your TP that closes everything may be at 1 to 3. You can still close it yourself at a 1 to 2. You can still take a partial at 1 to 1, but your full TP might just be there. You can't have multiple TPs in a sense, but you can have multiple, like in terms of mentally, like, oh, once it gets here, I might do this. Once it gets here, I might do this. But in terms of having a TP or stop loss, there's only ever going to be like one of them.
One, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
But the thing that I have for one thing I would say that should be able to help you. Have you seen? You probably haven't if you're. I'm about to link you the one video with the Fibonacci to kind of show you how I have the TP 1, 2, 3 on TradingView, because that'll be able to help you. That won't be necessarily like, oh, it makes it like you get what I'm saying? It's not gonna be TPs that closes it, but it'll be mentally, it'll show you where your TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is based off of what you're risking. If you're risking 50 points, you'll be able to have a 50-point TP 100-point TP 2, and it's always gonna be based off of what you're risking and what your trade is. but I'm about to send you the link to it because it's a whole video. It'll be able to explain more of it than I would be able to right now, so I can actually answer your other questions. When you're back testing doesn't necessarily matter in terms of like when in time, but the session you're back testing is going to be key, because if you trade New York session, you're going to want to back test New York session so you can understand what is happening during the New York session. If you trade London session, you're going to want to back test London session so you can understand what's happening during London session. Now, in terms of, oh, should I not be back testing last week? Should I back test? You could back test anything that has price action, because if it's happened before, it's likely to be able to happen again. So if you understand what has happened in the past, you're going to have a higher likelihood of understanding what's going to happen next, because all the market does is repeat itself over and over and over and over. And we just got to find something that is going to keep repeating, that we can be able to put money behind and then win more times than lose, and have a higher risk to reward, so that when we do win, we're winning more than if we would lose. And if you can do that consistently, then that's how you can make money. But it's just very repeatable. But you would want to back test the session that you're trading. So if we trade New York session, go back into New York session, look at what's happening at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, because then you're going to be able to understand how you can catch it next time based off of what has happened. Because I'm telling you, once you go watch the back testing sessions too, once you've done the blueprint and everything, you're going to see that the same stuff happens over and over and over and over. And if you can understand what to look for, it's going to be way easier to spot a trade when it happens next time. Of price action, once you have an understanding of being able to read the charts in terms of, I know I want to enter here, I know I want to get out here, I know my stop loss is this amount, not necessarily in terms of money, but it's a 30-point stop loss, it's a 50-point stop loss, and I want to have a target of 60 points or 100 points as a TP, because no matter what, if it's one contract or 4 contracts or 1,000 contracts on a trade, the stop loss is going to be the same stop loss, the TP is going to be the same TP, the process is going to be the same thing. So when you learn it, it's not going to change, but the process in terms of being able to replicate a trade in the first place, that's going to be more important. I would say the main companies are definitely like Top Step. Top Step is probably the number one in terms of how much money you can get per payout per account, and in terms of how much it costs to get the account, and in terms of a company that's been around for a while. I would say secondly would be like My Funded Futures is good, but in my opinion, you can leverage one prop firm to make a decent amount of money. You don't necessarily need to use multiple. Like if you wanted to, you could, but with the copy trading, you can make it work with one, and then from there you'll have the ability to just move from the rest. But I say Top Step is always going to be the number one. I got that first low call done. Nothing crazy, just getting them started. I have a lot of students that are just getting into trading, so I have a lot of students that I'm trying to get into the funded route, but I'm trying to get them to have the confidence, even know what they're doing, the trades that they're taking in the first place. So that's fun. But Donovan, he's on his way. He's going to be another student that you see me posting on the Instagram, see me posting on the interview with some crazy results. But I'm about to hop on a call with JP. Yeah, we got to talk with JP. He's got funded a couple times. He's another trader that literally, he's been trading for 3 months. He's passed 2 funded accounts, and he's been going through it. So, yeah, we're gonna talk some game. This is going to be real valuable for you guys, too. What's going on? How was your week?
Can't believe it, bro. I take 2 steps forward and I get bitch slapped back, dog. Every time, bro.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. Like the first time that shit really hurt my feelings. The second time I was just being greedy, you know. So, man, it's just not putting a stop loss, bro. That's what it is.
Now, the stop loss is the easy part. That's the easy fix, too. Something that you can implement immediately and have change immediately. I would say another thing, if you're going to be on Top Step, you can also have the daily lockout, too. If you know how to do the daily lockout from the video, then that's something. Then that would be helpful, too, because even no matter what, even if you max leverage or whatever, you have it set as a certain amount of daily for the day in the account, and you'll be able to keep your accounts. Like, even for me, last week I had a chopped week, and that was my first week on the 5 new Express accounts, and I was getting chopped up, but I had it at a 500 max per day, so I can only lose 500 per day. Worst case scenario, max. So it just keeps them risk managed. Even if you don't have the discipline to, it's just going to close the account no matter what. And then these are risk to reward now, probability game. You win some, you lose some. As long as the risk is managed now, you at least have your account to be able to trade Monday, to be able to trade in a week. One thing I try to tell everybody is just have an intention and ask yourself the intention behind every trade. Before you take it, just ask yourself the intention, because you'll be able to catch yourself and you'll be able to make yourself aware if this is something you should or shouldn't be doing, just simply based off that question. Because if you ask yourself, what is the intention behind this trade, you're going to know if you're trying to make a loss back, if you're just following your process, if you're following your plan, or you're trying to do something based off of how you feel, you're trying to make whatever it may be. So if you just kind of get in the habit of asking yourself what is the intention behind the trade before you take it, you can kind of catch yourself. And then if you tell yourself it's something you shouldn't be doing and still do it, all you can do is blame yourself now. But at least it's like you can't fault yourself for what you don't know. I would say you could do the same thing. Live account, you might have been able to take some of it out, but then if you would have lost the entire account later, it would have you would have made something, but still overall lost the same thing. It's like the consistency aspect. You could do exactly what you're supposed to for a week, 2 weeks, a month. You might be able to get a withdrawal this month. You might be able to get a withdrawal next month, but then the month after that, you blow the account, then keep spending again, the cycle of buying combines and failing those. You could use all the money that you had already got withdrawals from, essentially, and then give it right back to the market if you're not being able to kind of keep it consistent to begin with. Because if you can't stay consistent on the funded account, it's likely going to be the same thing on live, because the market and your human tendencies are going to be the same thing. The only thing that's going to change is you'll either be able to get an immediate result or a delayed result. But regardless, if you can get one, you should be able to get the other. So regardless, you should be able to leverage both, essentially. But if you can't leverage one, you won't be able to leverage the other. One, yeah, you might be able to get a payout immediately, but if you get a payout here on your live account, and then blow the whole entire account, and then put more money into your account again, yeah, you made money, but it goes back into it essentially just at a different time. It's like a big cycle. All right, in between calls, I just got some content for Instagram. We talked about the 2 ways of building confidence. It's kind of one of the things I just talked about on the call with the student. If I didn't record that portion before I hop on this call real quick, the main thing when it comes to building confidence as a trader is going to be demo trading and backtesting. Demo trading and backtesting, you're not going to make money, but you're also not going to have emotions. You're not going to care if you win or lose, but from not caring if you're going to win or lose, you're going to be able to analyze and understand the process behind your trades. Why did the market do what it did? Why did you lose? What could you have done better? When you're in a funded account, when you're on a live account, you're going to have emotions. You're going to care that you lost money. It is what it is, but you got to learn to have confidence in yourself and system first before you go into a funded account, before you go into a live account, because if you don't got that underlying confidence in yourself and system, you're going to start second-guessing your trading, second-guessing your trading system, your trading plan. So when you go through a losing streak like I did this week, you're going to give up your system. You're going to try something new. When in reality, learn how to manage yourself, manage your emotions, and you will survive. I know my system works because I have confidence in myself and system from all the back testing I've done, from all the demo trading I've done, from everything that I've done on a daily and weekly basis. But yeah, with that being said, that's what I posted on my Instagram. I'm about to call my boy Ro. Give some more value. You cold? You cold over there, Canada boy?
Actually, not cold.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. But now, how was your week?
Pretty good. Pretty busy.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I just wanted to call because I have some questions about certain things.
I'll say the main thing is going to be paying attention to London session also, because you might pay attention to the trend of the previous day, but let's just say that, for example, the previous day was bullish, but London was bearish. Even though yesterday was bullish, but if we've been bearish London and price action all of today has specifically been bearish, it may make more sense for today, for example. Maybe there's a trade, there's a gap, maybe it retraces at the right time. Whatever setup it may be in the bearish direction, it may just make more sense in that moment, even though the previous day was bullish, that it might just go bearish, because today specifically has been bearish. And yes, in most times, if the previous day was bullish, you would ideally want to be in longs, but it may just fall first, give us the trade that we were looking for, to then maybe go long later on. Maybe it has to retrace further before going higher. The main thing you got to understand is, in most cases, following the previous day's trend is going to be ideal. Specifically, say previous day is bullish and then London session is also bullish. We might just wait for a retracement during New York to keep it moving bullish. When they're going with each other, it helps us solidify a trend. But when they're going against each other, I'm usually going to pay attention firstly to where we are in the moment, because even though it may be overall bullish, we might be at all-time highs, today might be the day that we just start retracing. And I'm not going to try to bet on reversing on the trend, but I'm usually going to let the market show me that it's trying to go lower. I'm not just going to go shorts even though it looks like it might go long. So I'm going to wait for it to actually prove to me in one way, shape, or form that it's been trying to move lower. But London session will be something to pay attention to aside from the previous day.
You're also saying all-time highs are like a magnet, right? Pretty much, right?
All right, I keep on. Oh shit, I'm tired. Been talking, about to go out there and hit some push-ups too while I'm at it. But I gotta get this group call in a couple hours. I'm gonna have everything ready. We're gonna have a nice little educational call. Just talk about losses, handling them. Because I had a little shitty week on the funded accounts. I made money on my live account, but on the funded accounts, I lost some money. But we still got the accounts, as you guys can see over here. We didn't lose the accounts, so for all the people wondering, no, we didn't lose them. We're still here. We didn't over leverage the whole house. Like I told you guys, manage risk, manage your emotions, and you'll be able to stay in the game to keep trading in a month, in a year, in a fucking however long, right? But yeah, I'm about to go out there, chill for a little bit, and then get ready for this call. So with that being said, hope you've been enjoying it. It's gonna be an educational video, not as much lifestyle today, but that's what it'd be like. Let me just go hit some push-ups.
To talk about, I've already said for the most part, but that was before everyone joined. I'm gonna talk about losses, losing, handling that shit, because reading price is cool, but it all works until it don't. Until you start taking them trades that have every reason why they should play out and they still don't play out, it's only gonna do so much. And one of the biggest things that I always try to stress you guys is the longevity aspect. You can understand price, you can understand how to catch a trade, but guess what? It don't matter how much money you make, it don't matter how many funded accounts you pass, how many payouts you got. All it takes is one day, 1 week, couple days, trust, and you can wipe away all that shit. And then all the money you have from payouts, you can spend that money trying to get combines, paying for the combines, paying for the activations, losing it, getting more combines, getting more activations, putting money into a live account. It is way easier to lose the money than it is to make the money. But that's why the longevity aspect is the key thing. You might be able to win one trade. You might be able to go a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, even a 4, 5, 6 months doing something consistently. But you guys know, if you've been trading for a year, 2 years, anything more, you already know. All it takes is one day, 1 week, one session, and you can wipe it all away. And when you have weeks, for example, like last week specifically, when it's just choppy conditions, you have trade ideas, you have setups that look valid. There's setups that you would take any other day, but they're not playing out. You're not getting the volume that you would usually get. This is the reality of trading. Not every week, not every month is going to be the same exact thing. Price action is going to have the same exact tendencies. It's going to, for the most part, do very similar things, but it's not always going to be identical. There's going to be certain times of the year we have a lot more volume than we have in other portions. For example, summer conditions usually aren't the best. This year it wasn't that bad in comparison to other years, but usually December isn't the best trading conditions. Anybody that has traded multiple years, they could tell you a lot of people in December don't do the best, and that's just something that is a seasonal tendency, but it just comes down to understanding. You're not always going to have the best conditions. What matters more than being able to have a good trade setup, what matters more than being able to read price action, what matters more than being able to just read price, is being able to manage yourself, your risk, and your emotions. Because when the setups are valid, the only thing that's going to keep you in the game when a setup looks valid and is giving you every reason why you should take advantage of it is managing your emotions and managing your risk. Because like I said, again, last week is going to be a week where it's just a simple L week. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be anything besides a simple L week, but if you let the conditions make you do something in terms of over trading, over risking, trying to make a loss back, trying to get your account out of drawdown, trying to chase a result, when the intention goes from following your process, following your trading plan, following your system, to trying to make money, trying to get a result, that's when that first domino falls. I said this analogy before, but it's like trying to go up steps. If you try to run up the steps, if you try to skip a couple steps to try to get to the top faster, trying to get to the result faster, trying to get to the destination faster, you might just trip. You might just try to skip 2-3 steps and then fall, and now you're all the way at the bottom. Because once you catch that momentum, once you start falling down the steps, it's going to be a lot harder to just catch yourself. You're usually not going to stop until you get to the very bottom, because it's just momentum. It's going to take you longer getting up the steps if you go one step at a time, if you go slow, but the chance of you getting there without knocking yourself all the way out the game, having to restart multiple times. Think about how often you will try to run up the steps, you get to the very top, you try to skip a couple steps to get there sooner. You fall all the way back down. Got to do it all again. You don't learn from what you did before. You try to skip a couple steps again, fall all the way back down. If you just would have kept it consistent and took the slow route the first time, you still would have got there faster. And you wouldn't have had to go through all the bullshit. Yes, it would have taken you longer, but a lot of the time, people try to force results. When you have weeks like last week where the conditions aren't the best, you're trying to force that result. You're trying to get to the top of the steps that week when that might not be the week you're going to get to the top of the steps. But you trying to force that result, you just fall down the steps. You reset every single time. It's like a big old cycle with these prop firms, with just trading in general. It's going to keep you in a cycle of doing the same dumb shit until you just run out of money or you just eventually give up. It's like the casino. If you just keep going to the casino doing dumb shit with no risk management, with no emotional control, you're just going to keep getting in a cycle until you eventually just give up. It's just going to keep on, it's going to spit people out essentially. People come into the market, people start trading all the time. People come and go because they're getting that same cycle of just boom and bust, doing the same dumb shit that is not going to do anything for them. Managing risk and managing your emotions is more important than the trading system. The trading system is important. Being able to understand price is important, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. The main things you need: system, strategy. That's usually the first thing that we learn. But then after you learn the system strategy, once you get a funded account or two, once you get your first payout, you realize the more important stuff is the you versus you, getting out of your own way, having the discipline to actually do what you're supposed to, having the consistency to show up on a daily basis. A lot of these little things that you learn after you learn price, you learn after you do all the beginning things. Oh yeah, it started lagging. Let's see. They're not trying to see me win. They're not trying to see us win. I mean, the main thing I like to do is I like to do calls and stuff that are going off of stuff that I'm going through myself, because it'll be the main thing that I could talk about that I won't have to structure anything down. I won't have to write notes because I'm simply giving advice on things that I got to do to be able to move forward. I had an L week just like anybody else. I still got my funded accounts. This was my first week on the funded accounts that I just passed. It was an L week. I was getting chopped the fuck up. But I had a W week on the live account. I didn't trade that much. I could have made more if I. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have made more. If I would have traded more in the live account, I would have lost money. So I saved myself in that aspect. But it sucks. No matter how long I've traded, no matter how many accounts I've passed, no matter how many payouts, withdrawals I've had, losing doesn't feel good. You learn to be able to handle it better. It doesn't feel good to anybody, no matter how much money I've made before. Even if I were to lose these 5 express accounts, that would still hurt, because in like the back of your head it's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing, but it's like you still have those thoughts. I tell you guys all the time, you may have thoughts, but your thoughts aren't who you are. You have thoughts, that doesn't mean that's who you are. That's just simply thoughts. We have thoughts. All we can't control our thoughts. We can just control what we do based off of how we feel, based off of what we think. But this losing is human nature. Nobody likes it. As men, specifically, there's also females here, but specifically men, they're very competitive. They don't like losing. It's just human nature, and trading is you versus you. Like, this is the most human thing ever that we have to deal with on a daily basis, and that's why most people fail, because they're never put in a situation where they got to realize these things, where they got to build self-discipline, where they got to become self-accountable. Not many people are going to have to do what we do, hold ourselves accountable, get out our own way. Most people could just keep doing the dumb shit and just keep getting paid for it, essentially, because they're just being trying to think of it. They're making just enough to survive, but based off of that, the habits that they're building are never going to take them out of that. It's just a big old continuous cycle. It's like the hamster wheel. They're doing just enough to get by, but just doing just enough and not having enough time to build yourself. You just keep doing the same thing, not improving. But if you want to improve, you just got to do things differently. And most people can't handle emotions. Most people don't have discipline. Most people don't do the things they don't want to do. Think about it. If I were to tell you guys to hit 1,000 push-ups, most of y'all could do it today. But most of y'all aren't going to do it. And it's not the fact that you can't hit 1,000 push-ups, it's that most people just don't want to do it. And that's just a good example, because you can do it, you just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And that's with most things. Most things we can do it. We can passive fund it. We can get a payout. We can make money. We can replace our job, but we won't do it. We don't want to make the sacrifices required to actually do it. We want those results, but we don't want to lose the money. We want to be able to make a lot of money, but we're scared to lose a certain amount of money to be able to get to that point. It's like we want the result, we want the end goal, but we're not willing to do the things that are going to allow us to even get there in the first place. You know what I mean? It's not going to be easy. Think about it. If you want to make $10,000 in a trade, you're going to have to get used to losing even more money per trade. Every level you get to where you're making more money per trade, where you're risking more money per trade, is going to be a different level of emotions that you got to get used to. Because if I go from risking 1,000, 2,000 per trade to risking 4,000, 5,000 per trade, it's going to be a lot different, because I'm not used to that. It's a different level. Even though it's a very similar thing, I've lost money before, it's going to be a new level of losing money. It's like, think of it like Mario or some shit, right? in these Mario games, you got a lot of different levels, and in these different levels, even though you get better over time, the levels still get harder. And there's even times where some levels are just easier. But at the end of the day, progressively they get harder, but you get better, so you can handle it better. It's the same thing with just life. It's the same thing with trading. You are getting better over time from doing the things on a daily basis. From having the discipline to do what you don't want to do, you're gonna likely build a habit to be able to do that tomorrow. And it's just a day by day thing. You can't treat one day like it's better than the next. Every day, all you have is today. Every day is as equals to last, because you may not be here tomorrow, you might not be here in a week. All you have is the things you're going to do today and the actions that you're going to take today. Just got to control the controllable. You can't control if you're going to win or lose a trade, but what can you control? How much you lose, how many trades you're going to take. That's what you can control. That's why risk management and emotional control is way more important than price action, because price action, you can control when you're taking your trades, but you can't control if you're going to win or lose. That's the one thing you can't control. I wish you could control when you would and win or lose, but you can't. That's the reality of it.
All right, I think now I kind of collect my thoughts a little bit here. So, I guess to really summarize what since we've been kind of been going through lately, right? Especially last month, I'll say that as far as just like how you said earlier with the physical, mental, finance things along those lines, I'll just kind of like to just kind of summarize and saying that just the month of October, obviously I'm still battling through the physical aspect of things, trying to get back on track with my knees and stuff, and then I end up hurting myself going to a concert, so I ended up taking a few steps back as a result of that, which kind of hurt me quite a bit. And then as far as the finances goes, we continue to just pouring and going all in with trading and stuff, which I'm still working on, just trying to return my investment with that too, which kind of just been putting me in a little bit in chokehold. And then as far as like my mental well being, right? Because I was already going through mental warfare most of the year, anyways. Because I've been at war with myself and trying to just beat this game, like you said earlier, like it's me versus me. So I've been at war trying to just get over the hump, and then now I'm basically getting over a breakup now. A new breakup is happening too. So I have like 4 or 5 like different things. It's like going on at the same time. So really, the question that I have here is, how am I able to continue to just bring myself up, even though every time I'm trying to keep myself positive and keep myself pushing forward, it's like something new is continuing to happen. If that makes sense, because I think the big issue I was from last month was one thing would happen, and I'll try to pick myself back up, and then something else would end up happening, and then I'm still trying to just like get over the last thing. It's like something else continue to pile up on top of each other. Now I think that's the reason why I kind of got to a point where I kind of took a step back from trading, because I didn't want me train through all this nonsense and now I'm blowing all my accounts because I'm not thinking thoroughly, and I'm not being able to process all the information that I need to in order to be, a sustainable trader in the markets.
Copy. I would definitely say first thing is when it rains it pours. That's what they always say. Usually it's like a domino effect. When shit catches momentum, the same way when you catch winning peers and everything is going good, the same things that will make you extremely happy can make you extremely sad. At what goes up, gotta come down. You're never gonna go up forever. People that have had a lot of money, they've also gone through periods where they weren't making a lot of money. People that were poor, people that are rich who are also had positions where they were poor, where they had no money. It's like the same things that will make you really happy will also make you really sad. Same thing with trading. The same thing when you can have those W periods in life, those W periods when you're winning trades back to back, the market feels easy. You don't even have to feel like you put in too much work and it's just smooth. But then when it starts losing, it's the same exact thing. You just got to understand everything happens for a reason, and usually stuff happens in phases, but it's just tests. Is testing to see if you're going to give up. It's testing to see how strong you really are. Just think of it as is like a branch, and you just keep on bending the branch to see how strong the branch is. It's just going as much as possible, like bending all the way to the limits, to the point to see when it's gonna finally break. And you just gotta make sure you don't fold. Yeah, you're gonna go through shit, but at the end of the day, everything happens for you, not to you. You just gotta look, it's happening for you. It happened to you, for you, whatever you want to call it, so that you can learn from it. Everything that happened, you don't gotta look at it as a loss. It's just a lesson. Yeah, you may have went through a breakup. Okay, it is what it is. You can learn what you learned from the relationship to put it into another one. You just got to look at the positive behind it. Same thing with your physical. You may have gone through all these things and you may look at it as a negative, but you also just got to change the perspective and look at it as a positive, because you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself that you probably would have never learned if you were never put in a situation of going through the things that you're going through. And it sucks in the moment, but every time something sucks in the moment, once you get over it, you look back at it and you're like, I needed it to happen. It never feels good in the moment. When we're going through losses, when we're going through bad periods, when we're going through losing streaks, it never feels good in the moment, but after time goes by, after staying busy, staying productive, not giving up, and being able to get out of those periods, you always look back at it and be like, I needed that to happen, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be the person I am now to be able to do what I'm doing now. You just got to look at it as losses. These little losing periods, they're going to test you. You just got to ask yourself, are you going to fail? Are you going to give up? Are you going to use everything that happened to keep you in the game? Are you going to use everything that happened and then use it as a reason that you're going to stay moving forward, that you're going to stay in the game because you're going to use all the experience that you went through as a reason why you don't got to go through that shit again. If you went through it one time, you can be prepared to go through it again. Most people don't go through a lot of shit, but guess what? They don't know what to expect. They don't know what to be prepared for. When something happens, they're not going to know how to get it back, but everything that you go through is happening for you. You just got to look at it like that. It's all perspective. But yeah, when it rains, it pours. There's going to be good peers, there's going to be bad peers, but you want to be able to make sure you make the right decisions so that when you go through these bad peers, they don't take you out of the game. You can kind of stay afloat. I was talking to one of my students, who was it? Eli, the one that lives in my building. We were talking about Monopoly, but it's like the same thing with Monopoly. Monopoly has a funny way of just keeping everybody in the game and kind of having a rinse and repeat cycle of if you don't make the right decisions, all it is a couple bad moves or a couple bad mistakes, and you can go from having a lot of money and a lot of hotels to having nothing, no property. Just and it's like a big cycle of then the person that had no money, no property, they now have the property, they have the money. It's like a big cycle that keeps happening based off of one or two bad mistakes. You learn the same thing from Monopoly. It'll teach you about life. Basically the same thing that I just said. All it takes is a couple mistakes. You could be doing the exact thing. You could have a lot of money, but it's like a cycle effect that if you're not doing what you're supposed to when you have that money, if you're not doing the things you're supposed to when you're in position, all it takes is a couple bad moves, and then when that losing period comes in, if you're not prepared for it, if you're not ready for it, it can just take you out the game. You just got to be able to prepare for the worst, expect the best.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'm just every day I go to work, I'll be thinking like I'll be ready to get back on the charts and shit. And recently, like the charts ain't been hitting for me. Like I really been getting smacked up damn near every week to the point like, and I know I just started doing dumb shit after like I blew my funded. Like it's been hard for me to get back in rhythm. Like I had such a rhythm, and then like I got out of it, and haven't been able to tap back into that shit. Like and like it's so easy to blame like the shitty ass conditions, but it's like it's hard for me to like get back locked in if I keep having like losing periods. It's like I never give myself the satisfaction. I just be keep going through that shit every day, and it's like I've been traded for like what, shoot, 3.5 years. And so like I be letting a lot of shit build up. And then I told you about like the whole 30K debt situation. Like I be busting my ass overly. Like I go through like that's why I be telling people like you gotta go through losses to understand where you went wrong and the choices you made, and it's just like it all comes full circle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's always dealing with something harder. Like when you told me you had 50K at debt at one time, that shit like made me look at my situation like I ain't shit. It's just now it's like the patience, it's the time, it's the when the time is right, and it's like we never know, and that's always been like my biggest struggle, never knowing when that shit's gonna pay out, knowing when. But all I can do is show up every day. I just know if I keep self sabotaging, I just pull the clock back, and it's like it don't matter if you do it good for a month, a week, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. If you go set on the seventh week and say, you know what, fuck this shit, I think I can up the risk right here, and then boom, you blow it. You can throw yourself right back into the same negative habits that you just got out of. Like it should get deep. It get
And
deep.
that's a fact. It ain't easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's one thing a lot of people got to realize too. Another thing you said was you never know when you're gonna have that success. You never know when it's gonna happen. Shit, you're never gonna know, and it's gonna be one thing that you never know. I never know when I'm gonna. I don't know when I'm gonna get a Lambo. I don't know when I'm gonna get that Cuban. I don't know when I'm gonna get that rose gold watch, that Cartier skeleton, all the Cartier skeletons. I don't know when I'm getting none of that. Yacht, jet, all of that shit, I still don't know. But you just gotta have a vision and have faith in yourself enough to just know what you're supposed to do that's gonna lead to that result, no matter where you are. You could take an L trade, but guess what? It's like the same thing you gotta look at with the process. You know what you're supposed to do regardless. The result that happens, you just gotta keep doing it every single day. If you want to build muscle, you're going to eat the food, even if you don't want to eat that food today. Even if the food didn't taste that good, you're still gonna eat the food and do what's supposed to be done to be able to get that result, no matter the result in terms of on that day to day. You know what the result you want long term is. You know the life you want long term, and you're gonna have to go through ups and downs on a lower time frame on a day by day basis to be able to get to that life that you want. It's going to come with sacrifices. It's not going to be easy, but I've gone into debt. I've spent a lot of money on things I didn't need to, but everything is happening so that you can learn from it, because you don't know how to do something that you've never done before. You don't know how to control money that you've never had before. You don't know how to do any of these things that you're going to be doing for the first time. You have to learn from the journey, and that's why I also tell you guys, from my journey, I've regretted a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, you go through the things that you go through for a reason. It's going to build you into the individual that's going to be capable of doing all the things that you want. Every situation is different. We go through the things we go through because that's our individual journey. We have to go through those things. You may have gone through debt. You might be going through the things you're going through. Cal might be going through his physical stuff. I might be going through me just trying to do stuff on my. Everyone's going to go through their own individual journey, but that's exactly what's going to make you uniquely you. But that's also what's going to make it hard for you to also compare your journey to somebody else's, because you're going through things differently. Some other people are going to have different advantages. Some people are going to go through things that are going to allow it so that they could take advantage of things, that they could do things that you might not even have the ability to do in your situation. So that's why you also can't compare your journey to other people, because you may see results that other people have. You may see people with the things that you want, and they may have been doing it for way less than you. I see the same thing with people all the time. I see people that I watch, they have Lambos, they got nice cars, they got the things that I want, but I can't compare my journey to theirs because this is uniquely mine, and I'm going to go through the things that I need to go through to be the person that I need to be to get the things when I'm supposed to have them. And you just got to remember, it's always going to be you versus you. Everything happens how it's supposed to, and that's the mindset you got to have. No matter what circumstance, it ain't gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, team just got done on the call with everybody, went over everything from losses. I'm gonna give you the game, but for the most part, it's just gonna be the end of the video. I gotta edit the entire vlog, whole lot of stuff from the live calls, from the one-on-one calls, a lot of editing that needs to be done. I also gotta get food. So yeah, if you wanna work with me one-on-one, you wanna get access to these calls where I can help you one-on-one, make your first $10,000 trading, teach you everything from hundreds of hours of course content to one-on-one trading to live trading every single day and every single week. You can find the first link. The second link is a free trading training. Let's have a great week, a productive week, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's daily video.